Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you all to this class. My name is Paula J. Kokwa. I'm going to facilitate this class, Principles of Economics 1. In today's lesson, we are going to look at the theory of demand. I don't know the lesson. I expect you to know the definition of demand, the law of demand, reasons for the relationship between price and quantity demanded, and also determinants of. Now, what is demand? What is demand? Demand is defined as the amount of goods and services an individual is willing and able to buy at a given price. The amount of goods and services an individual is willing and able to buy at a given price. So when I ask you at what price, at a price of 10 cedis, how much would you want to buy a bottle of soap? How many units of soap would you want to buy? You will give me a certain quantity. That would be your demand. When I ask you at a price of 2 cedis, how many units of a book would you want to buy? That become your demand. So when you look at the table below, at price 1, quantity demanded is 200. At price 2, quantity demanded is 170. At price 4, quantity demanded is 80. At price 7, quantity demanded is 10. This gives us the various demand at the various prices. It is this same information we have in the table that has been presented in the curve here. So as you can see, when price is reducing, quantity demanded seems to be increasing, just as we saw in the table, right? That when price is reducing from 7 to 1, the amount demanded is also increasing. Now, it is this development which leads us to the law of demand. This development leads us to the law of demand. We saw from the table and from the diagram that when price is reducing, quantity demanded seems to be increasing, and so that gives us the law of demand, which states that all things being equal, consumers buy more of a good when its price is lower, and they buy less of a good when its price is higher. Meaning that usually the higher the price of a good, the lower the quantity demanded, and the lower the price of a good, the higher the quantity demanded. Now, what this tells us is that consumers are happy to always buy more of a good at lower prices than when the price of the good is high. So simply put, the law of demand is telling us that goods that have high price generally would have low quantity demanded, and vice versa. The ceteris paribus you see here is what in English we say all things being equal. So the question is, why do we have this relationship between price and quantity demanded? Why is it that whenever price falls, quantity demanded seems to increase, and when price increases, quantity demanded seems to fall? In fact, this relationship tells us that it is inverse. It is negatively related. Price is negatively related to quantity demand, so that when price is increasing, quantity demanded will be reducing. The question is, what account for that? So what account for the negative relationship between price and quantity demand? 3 reasons can be given. The first is the income effect of a change in price. Income effect of a change in price. You see, whenever price changes, it affects your purchasing power. The level of income you receive may be the same, but when price changes, its value, its wealth will never be the same. Especially when the price of a good falls, with your level of income remaining the same, you will be able to buy more of that commodity, not because your income has increased, but rather because the purchasing power of what you are holding has increased due to the fall in price. On the other hand, when the price of a commodity increases, with your same level of income, the purchasing power reduces. So that reduces the value of what you are holding, and it will cause you to just buy fewer amount of the unit with what you have. The second is the substitution effect of a change in price. Consumers always compare prices of goods. So when the price of a good is lower, the people who are consuming other goods which the good in question can perform, they will rush and come and buy the good in question. So when you take toothpaste, we have a number of brands. So if the price of toothpaste A is lower than the price of toothpaste B, all serving the same purposes, those of toothpaste B will rush and come and buy that of toothpaste A. because the price is lower. It is more affordable. That will make demand for that commodity toothpaste A increase or higher than that of toothpaste B because of the price. On the other hand, when consumers of good toothpaste A realize that its price is higher, they will all run away and go and consume the substitute good that has a lower price. So this is the second reason why there is that inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Thirdly, we also have the marginal consumers. Marginal consumers are people who don't earn enough. They are kind of very poor. Their level of income is very low, and so they can only buy when the product is sold at a cheaper price. So for such people, they are on the fringes. Whenever the price of a good falls, they jump onto the market. They come to add to the numbers, and quantity demanded for the product would increase. On the other hand, when the price increases, these same people will leave because they cannot afford. So that would reduce the quantity demanded for the commodity. So these are the reasons that account for the existence of the law of demand, or the reasons why there is a negative relationship between price of a good and quantity demanded. Alright, so to wind up, we are looking at the determinants of demand. What are the determinants of demand? This, we are making reference to what makes demand for one good more than the other. It is not only price which influences demand for a commodity. A number of factors are responsible for the demand for commodity. One of them is the price, which we have explained. Another is the price of the related commodities, which I have also talked about. We also have income level of consumers. Aside the level of income, we also have taste and preference. Aside taste and preference, we also have expectation of consumers. And aside that one too, we also have the number of. So these are some of the factors. These are some of the factors which can influence demand for a commodity. I will leave this one with you. Go and read. At our next meeting, you will explain to me how these variables can make demand for one good higher or can make demand for another good lower. Thank you.